Hello everybody and welcome back to Old World Wednesday. We are of course returning this week with some more new model goodness. We've been giving you Cathay non-stop for the last couple of weeks because obviously that's something that I'm very passionately working on, trying to get that army painted for myself in the first quarter of 2026. It is going okay. I have a whole host of infantry that I really need to push forward with, but I've got a couple of commissions blocking my way to get stuck into that properly right now, so give me a couple of weeks and you will see some mega progress on the infantry. I thought we would jump over and do something a little different in today's video, and we've gone with the new Orc Shaman character, which is Ogdruz Swampdigga, which is a really hard name to say, but yeah, he's an incredibly beautiful Orc Shaman miniature with the kind of skinned pelt of like a swamp troll across the top of him. It's such a cool model, and I'm going to paint it for you guys in today's video. Obviously, it's a dull, dirty orc, but then he has a big, beautiful, vibrant troll skin draped across him. He's got a crab strapped to his shoulder. I'm going to use a whole host of vibrant colors to really make him stand out. So when you pan across the army, you will spot the shaman immediately. And I think that's going to be really cool. Before I get into it, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone there that continues to support this new channel and of course the Middle Earth Monday channel. If you haven't checked that out, please go check that out and subscribe. Make sure you've obviously subscribed to this channel if you haven't already. What the hell? And yeah, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate everyone's watching, viewing, subscribing, all that goodness. And then obviously anyone out there wants to take it a step further and check us out on Patreon. That is linked down below as well. There's a whole host of reasons to get involved with that. But one of the big ones that a lot of people seem to enjoy is I do monthly giveaways for anyone who has signed up to my Patreon at any tier, except for free, obviously. This month on the Patreon, we are giving away this Thousand Sons Army box set. It is very beautiful. It comes with a whole host of awesome Thousand Sons miniatures. So if you want to be on a chance of winning this entire set shipped anywhere in the world, all you need to do is sign up to Patreon at any tier. Okay, without further ado, let's dive in and get working on this awesome orc character. And this is that beautiful Orc Shaman character. He is, I would kind of hazard a guess as to say, he is one of the most interesting Orc characters there has ever been to paint in any setting, because he is made up of so many different parts that make him really interesting. Even the addition of a crab on his shoulder suddenly changes the entire way that you're going to paint him. He's going to be really bright and vibrant if you so wish to make him. You can make a brown crab and a dull dark green troll hide over his back and then a green orc. Like, you can make it quite dull. I, however, am going to try and push it a little bit further, make it really bright, really vibrant, and make him stand out across the tabletop. I love, and I mean love, when you can pan across an old world army and the characters scream out of units at you. You know exactly, there's the general, there's the battle standard bearer, and there's your wizards. I love seeing that. I want those models to be special on the tabletop. Hence why I will put in a lot of effort when it comes to what models I have. I've got a million old Orc Shamans lying around, but I had to buy this Forge World one. I won't be using him as his actual character. He will just be an Orc Shaman for me, but he will look incredible on the tabletop. I've got the new Resin Orc War Boss. I did a video on him on the main channel. He will be my general, and obviously I need to get a BSB sorted as well. So very much enjoying this, and I'm going to continue adding to this force over the course of the next kind of year, I guess, and try and get a sizable playable force. I want to lock in a solid 2,000 points because I haven't actually built most of the army yet. So the plan is to go into kind of planning mode and write a solid, static 2,000 points for this Orc army, lock that in and never change it. Just play that as one solid army forever. Is this possible for me, who's a kind of a collector, eccentric, and always goes way overboard with every army, adding in way more units than I'll ever get to play with? I don't know. But maybe this constraint on my time and my army will help me get this project done a little bit faster, and it will, you know, put a really nice pin in it at the end of a project. Because that's the thing that I always struggle with. I very rarely will stop and say, that army's done now. I'll always have more I want to add. So if I do get to do this whole system, lock it in and do it this way, I think that will be fantastic. And I'll tell you where I got this idea from. So I'm going to read out something from a really old White Dwarf article, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And it's where I got this idea from. And it's this article was sent over to me by my good friend, Mr. Golden Chin. If you don't know who he is, check him out on Instagram. You will not regret it. He does some incredible hobby stuff. So Nigel Stillman is the person who's this article is based on, and the old White Dwarf. I don't know which article it's from or where the White Dwarf is, but anyway, is a well known for playing in the spirit of the game. This is his personal opinion of the ultimate spirit of wargaming, which I think is a really cool concept. So, first off, pick an army to just under 2,000 points. So 2,000 points or just under. So you write that. Write down the roster and never amend it again. You write the list, that's what it is. Make sure it fits in with the backgrounds. Make sure you have a cool story written about this force, why it makes sense, and why we've chosen those units. Collect and paint the army. Give it 3 coats of gloss varnish. That's the bit I shall not be doing. This is a very, very, very old article, so I presume back in the day most of these armies were metal. So they put shiny coats of gloss varnish on to protect the metal from damage, but you could just, matte varnish or whatever to protect it. And then never touch it with a paintbrush again. So you apply your paint, you varnish it, you are done. Give every character and regiment a name. Every single unit and every single character has a unique name, which of course will give you a lot more feeling towards those units when it comes to playing them in a game, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Do not even possess extra or alternative units. Just stick with what you've got. Make a carry case that fits the army exactly. So it just fits there. Nothing ever gets changed. Love it. Fight every battle with the same army and never change anything in it. Fight in big games with just your 2,000 points and to hell with the odds. I love that. Never vary or change your army in any way. Resist all temptation, because there will be temptation out there. Model every magic item on the character who carries it, no matter what it is. What you see in the army is what you get. Take this literally, which I think is very cool. Always give your opponent the benefit of the doubt. What's the point in arguing? We're playing war dollies at the end of the day. Stop arguing with your opponent, just do it. Who cares if all of your opponents know your army composition by heart? Doesn't matter. Let the only surprises be your deployment and your tactical moves. I love that. Shrug off defeat. Learn the lessons and keep on practicing. Play for the fun of playing. I love that line. Play for the fun of playing. Not to win, not to outsmart or trick your opponent or anything like that. Play for the fun of playing. When you win, the excellence of your generalship will be beyond doubt. So there will be no tricks, there will be no nothing, there will be no list building, there will be no metagaming. There will just be my army. I learned how to use it. I know how it moves. I know how it functions. And that's what that won me the game. So that is a list of cool things. And I think, like, my friends were talking about this whole concept back in my group or channel. And obviously I find this thing very hard to do when I'm a collector at heart. Obviously I want to have every single model from every single range and build and paint them all. And that's a very difficult thing to do. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to try and set myself the goal of following those rules for some of my old world armies. So I'm going to decide what my beastmen is going to be and what my orc and goblins are going to be. Write a solid 2,000 point list, build those units, put the rest away if I have extra, and then never buy any others if I don't, and then go for it. Build and collect that army. My orcs are going to be the first one I do that with, and genuinely, I'm quite excited to do it. I think it'll be really cool. If you guys have seen my studio and the backgrounds of videos, you know I've got cabinets everywhere. So I think the idea of clearing off a shelf and just having that 2,000 points on the shelf, nothing extra, will also be another really cool thing. When you have friends over or people you want to play games with and you say, hey, I want to play a game, cool, what do you want to play, old world, cool, orcs. I don't have to suddenly sit there with a pen and paper and decide what I'm playing. Oh, he's playing Cathay, I should probably take some units of Wolf Riders, or I should probably take something to deal with that. But no, I just take out my 2,000 point Orc and Goblin army and I start playing. So that's my decision and I'm sticking to it. I would love to hear what your thoughts and feelings are about that entire process. How does that make you feel? Do you think you could follow along with that whilst collecting and building and painting your old world armies? Or do you think it's just out of the question? I can't possibly do it for everything I'm doing. And the thing I'm struggling with now is Cathay. I've already got, like, I think it's 1850 points of Cathay built and I'm starting to paint through it all. But obviously the next wave of miniatures, which is going to push me past 2,000 points, is coming out. And I cannot wait to get that new army box and build and paint that, which will probably put me at like 2,500 points. And I can't decide for love nor money what I would like take away from that and not own. I don't even have the dragon in my list. So Miao Ying would just get left out forever, which is a crazy thought. How could you ever leave out Miao Ying forever? So there's definitely pros and cons to it, but like I said, I'm excited for it. I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to lock it in for Orcs and Goblins. So maybe in a couple of weeks, I will do a video where I will show you my locked in 2001 Orc and Goblin army that I've built, show you the characters that I've already done for it, what units I have chosen. If I've decided to put a giant in, have I decided to put a wyvern in? And I'll probably do the same thing for something like my Wood Elf army. I've never built a Wood Elf army and I plan to do it soon. So I think I'll just decide what the 2000 points is, build that and get that painted. So yeah, exciting times. Okay, now back to this glorious orc character, which will be my wizard for my locked in 2000 point Orc and Goblin army. As you can see, I have gone eccentrically bright with the troll, with his like pallid oceany blue turquoise skin and his orange fins and inner ear stuff, and I think he looks really, really cool. If I decide to add a unit of river trolls to that army, then they'll be painted up exactly like this, because not only is it a very striking scheme for the trolls, it's also really beautiful. I think it looks incredible. I think it would look incredible carried across a big unit of trolls itself. Originally, when I started painting, I wasn't sure on what the troll skin was going to be, but I told myself I was going to do one of those kind of bright blue rare crabs, which you see online on videos and stuff. Usually it's like lobsters that are blue that are rare, but you've seen the giant crabs in blue and they look really cool. And that's what I really wanted to do. And then suddenly I turned around and did the troll in blue and green. So I decided I better just change the crab. So it went to a nice vibrant red color, which I think sets off the blue even better. Obviously, I've gone for the really kind of muted skin tone that I have done for my 40k orcs, and I've now carried that across to the old world orcs. I still have a bright green orc army in my future somewhere. It might be a second edition orc 40k army project out there that I might do, so I can go all the way up to like moot green, toxic green skin. I thought it might be this project, but turns out it's not. I've gone for the muted tones so that I can make all the other colors pop. So yeah, as you can see, I'm taking my time. I'm being methodical. If this army is going to be restricted and there is going to be 3 characters in the army full stop, then I want them to look their best. I want them to be amazing and I want to be super proud of them forevermore. And because this guy isn't actually going to be used as Ogdruz the Swampdigga in my army, he's going to be a standard Orc Shaman, I'm going to need a name for him. A name that I will lock in forevermore. He will just be known as that name on the roster. So if you guys want to help me out with any cool Orc Shaman names, and not just old Swampy Steve or whatever, something cool and story driven, I would really appreciate your help and assistance with that. That would be fantastic. This is obviously I don't even know how many of the new Forge World Orc character or Forge World characters I've painted now. I've done one of the one of the Shaman wizards for the Empire. I bought all 3 of them. I've only done one of them so far. I've done the Beastman Shaman character. He was a lot of fun to do. No, I had to actually step away and go to my cabinets and try and see which characters I've actually done. I have managed to do one of the Resin Tomb Kings characters, and I did one of the High Elf characters. But there's still a whole host that are kind of being left behind. And that's something I didn't want to do, is fall behind on the new resin characters that they're bringing out for Old Worlds. A whole host of Empire guys I need to still get my hands on, like the Knights Panther General and stuff, like gorgeous character. All of the new dwarves I don't have. I've got the King on his shield bearer, the plastic kit that came out. That's a beautiful kit. Never got that painted. Need to sort that out. But all of them, the new Slayer character, the new Engineer, and what was the third one? There's definitely a third one. Oh, the Rune Priest guy. So these are all beautiful resin cards that I really need to get my hands on, because these are all videos I want to have on this channel. I want anybody out there who is obviously looking at all of these beautiful new characters that are chock-a-block with character and are nervous about painting them, to have a place to come and be like, okay, that's how you paint that guy up, and to kind of alleviate that pressure. So hopefully I can continue to do that for you guys. If there's any particular ones you want to see first, please do not hesitate to let me know. Like I said, please do tell me what you think my thoughts are on doing that kind of locked in army. And yeah, I genuinely think it's going to be a really fun time. This is my Orc Shaman character all finished and painted up. I did actually manage to, on my Twitch stream last night, get his little attendant painted up as well. So you can see him here. He was a lot of fun to do. In a 2-hour stream, I managed to bash him out entirely and get him fully painted, which was a lot of fun. If you didn't know that, I do stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday evening between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Irish time. All people are welcome. We do some really cool hobby out there. We chat a lot of nonsense, and it's just a really good place to keep accountable for getting hobby done every single week. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Middle Earth Monday, except it's Old World Wednesday. Whoops, forget about that. I love you all, and I will see you in next week's video.